What sadistic SOB came up with this nightmare? Hey Glue Troopers, Max and Max's Models here. Well, I decluttered the bottom shelves and now I have some storage for stuff and I'll find things to put in there, but I actually moved everything over to the other little shed, so the Tarbus is gradually getting more workspace made available. And I got back to work on the Mustang. And at first it was just, pretty straightforward working on getting the cockpit finished off so I can put the halves together. But when I got into the radiator section, we'll probably talk about the Mustang radiators and oil heat exchangers a little bit later, which is what I was working on. They're in that underbelly. There are a whole bunch of photo etch. And by the way, this seems to be some sort of stainless steel. It's not brass photo etch. The CA glue sometimes has trouble sticking to it. If only it wouldn't stick to my finger so well. But they had some teeny, teeny, tiny parts. A bunch of magnets went in there. And there are these little tiny metal rods. And they're in the instruction sheet. They tell you which one to pick out. But some of them look so much alike, it's hard to tell which is which. But you have to put a piece of the photo etch through another piece of photo etch. This is all metal. And then put a rod through it and then glue it to plastic. It was because apparently, I guess they actually have a working flap on the exhaust for the, I guess that's the oil heat exchanger. The detail is insane, but I want to know who just thought this was a good idea. First off, why does it have to be metal? Maybe just because it's so tiny. And they also have in the same area, they have these pieces of photo etch that are you just glue them into place, but they're just so tiny and finicky. And I got them all in there. I didn't even drop any of them on the floor. A couple of times they went walkabout on me, but they were just stuck to my finger. Boy, this better be worth it. And at this point, this is the kind of thing, if you don't put it in there, no one's ever going to know. This is more about ego and pride at this point. You will not defeat me model. And I did a test fit on the fuselage halves, and there were some issues, so I had to take it apart. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to look beautiful, I'm sure. The details crazy. And luckily, I've been in the cockpit of a Mustang, so I knew how to paint some of the stuff even before I read the instructions. And the instructions on it do appear to be accurate. But it was just something else. But we got it done. And, well, we're probably tomorrow or the next day I'll get the fuselage halves together, I hope. I also dragged out the 600-gallon fuel tank for the Colonel's F4J because he told me during the interview that they were actually just carrying the center tank, not the wing tanks. I don't want to pull the wing tanks off because I'm afraid they'll mess up the wing, and it seems like every time you try to fix something, you just wind up breaking it. But I sanded the, puttied, sanded, and primed the 600-gallon centerline tank and got one coat of white on it. I'm going to build the coats up because I'm going to go ahead and attach it. That's just a matter of flipping the plane over and gluing it to the belly, so that shouldn't cause a problem. Famous last words. But that's where we're at right now. The Tarbus is nicely cleaned up. Stuff's moved out. I got a couple of the ceiling hangers actually hanging on the shelf, and I actually got some of the ceiling hangers removed. They're hanging them on the new shelf, and a little more operating room. Cleared some other clutter out and practiced setting up my little studio and everything. So it's all coming together. Well, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so I have a little special something that I put together for tomorrow, and it'll go up tomorrow morning. Still planning a live stream for Saturday night, same bat time, same bat channel. You take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.